Yo, it finally happened. I caught a f***ing W. Hey, what's good guys? My name's Chris. Welcome to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel, and today we got a detailed look and review on a bad boy right here. This is the Nike Kobe 5 Protro in the Hall of Fame colorway. It was exclusively released in collaboration with Undefeated, which is a retailer. The box is killer, man. It's a drawer box or pull-out box. I love this. I think it's so cool. The packaging and presentation is definitely on point. When you pull it out, this is the paper right there. Talks about some of his stats, which you will see in one of the insoles. And then you have the shoes. And I can't believe I won these, dude. Like, this is like a bittersweet moment for me. So before I break down the shoe and everything and what it entails, I did want to give a big shout out to Undefeated, not because they actually, sent these to me, because they didn't. I paid for them. I won them on a weird raffle, which I didn't even think that I hit because it happened like a day or so after the release. So I got a late email and I was like, what is this? But apparently Undefeated takes their time when you send in raffles, online raffles with the email thing and all of that stuff, and they go through and just remove duplicates, bots, this, that, and the other. They do their work and they do it well. They're not Nike, where Nike don't give a they're just taking money. Undefeated wanted to make sure that the right people or real people actually got these things. And I'm just like real grateful that they actually took the time to do all of that stuff, because usually I take L's on everything, man. So this is really cool for me and I think it's awesome. I do not like the colorway. I'll be blunt about that. However, the meaning behind everything kind of outweighs its ugliness to me. So this is one of my favorite basketball shoes of all time though. And the Kobe line is also one of my favorite lines of all time as far as performance is concerned. I feel like it's the most consistent when you only count 1 through 11. Don't count the AD stuff. And I think that these are just a cool shoe. I think that they're cool to have. And I appreciate that I was able to actually get a W. So much like the last Undefeated collab, they do have the same branding. So you'll have the mismatched branding, the Undefeated stuff on one side, then there's the Kobe logo on the other. They do have the same heel counters as the last release, as well as the same build. So these have that Cordura mesh. And something that I thought was real interesting is that this like faux snakeskin panel right here is actually synthetic leather, which you can see on the cuts. Or it's not synthetic leather, it's a particle board leather, which is synthetic plus actual leather all mixed into one. So I was surprised that there was actual leather in there. Thought that it would be just purely synthetic just based off of the finish and everything, but there is some leather in there. And then we got the little fuse rand right there on top of the Cordura mesh and everything. And I just think that they are such an interesting build. I wish that they were more widely available, because then I'd want to play in one, but I will not do that with these. I do play in those guys back there. That's my second one. I have another one that I play in. So as for the bottom of the shoe, we have the traditional Kobe 5 outsole. As far as the Protro version is concerned, it's got the heartbeat pattern with a little bit extra tread than the originals that released, what, I can't even remember when they released, 2009? But anyways, these guys are just a little bit different than those. Not much different, just a little bit. We did do a performance review. You can check it will be right there, right? Okay. And then we have the glass-based carbon fiber shank plate right there at the midfoot. The midsole is much different than the originals. These guys right here are Cushlon, and it's full length, so you get a nice bouncy ride through and through. The originals actually had a Met Zoom unit in the forefoot, which is a small Zoom Air unit. It would be isolated to right there underneath the ball of your foot. We do have a breakdown on what that will look like soon, so stay tuned for that. Excellent. And then the heel was a full-on Zoom Air unit, which is not in the Protro. And again, I do have a shoe that's completely taken apart with the full-on specs, and it would be super cool to look at, so stay tuned for that. Now the forefoot area still does have Zoom Air in it. It's just a Zoom Turbo unit, so that encompasses the entire forefoot area. A little bit thinner than the original units. It's still just as bouncy, and again, you got Cushlon all the way through as well, so you got a nice plush, smooth ride. I do like the originals a little bit more, but that's just my personal thing. This is still a beast on court for anybody wondering. And again, the upper right here is completely different than the traditional Kobe 5. So the normal Kobe 5 is actually a skin fuse upper. So that's a fully synthetic build. This guy right here has the composite style leather, which is the snakeskin area, and then the Cordura style mesh, very similar to an Air Jordan 11's build. And what I really like about these guys is the swoosh. It's different on both sides. So you got the red one right there, you got the purple one. And what I love that they did is that when you're looking at them from one side, it's one way. When you look at them from the other side, it's the other way. And it's not that weird mismatch thing. It was purposeful, and I like that. I like it a lot. They are a little bit different though. You'll see that this one's clean. This one has numbers on it. These are actually all of his jersey numbers throughout the years. So we have his 2-4, his 8, those are his Laker numbers. And then we have the 10 in the middle, which was his Team USA number. They do come with extra laces. These ones are just standard purple with standard aglets. The gold laces, however, have gold aglet tips, which are actual metal. So I like that a lot. And then the insole on the right foot looks just like this. It's awesome. So you got his accolades on there, giant Undefeated logo. And I just think that this attention to detail is great, especially in a shoe like this where it's all special and everything. As far as sizing is concerned, they do fit true to size. So whatever you typically measure at on the branding device, that's exactly what I would recommend you buying. Performance-wise, they are a little bit different than the other ones because the other ones are a shell, fully synthetic, plastic-based shell. So they have a little bit more support in the upper than this guy right here. These are made for like lifestyle, even though you can play in them. Just know that if you have like harsh movements, harsh cuts, lateral moves, the Cordura mesh will move a little bit more than the TPU stuff.
I'd like to speak on the upper, only because when they first came in, I've gotten used to how it looks by now, but when they first got pulled out of the box, they reminded me as a woman whose weight sometimes fluctuates. The way that this upper is, it reminds me of when you go to put on something, you're like, oh, these got a little bit tight. And then the rest of the upper is like spilling over.
I can see that.
It's a weird...
The Cordura kind of pushes outward a little bit.
It's fluffy.
It's a little fluffy, yes. It's almost summer.
It needs to work on its summer body. Although, if you have a body, every body is a summer-worthy body.
Well, yeah, like I'm not going to comment on that.
It's a trap!
I do have one other thing to say though, because you don't particularly care for the colorway. I thought it was great that it's gold because it's like a trophy for you.
That's how it felt. It was a true bittersweet moment just because it was like, hey, I finally got one, which I hate that Nike makes you feel like that. You know what I mean? Where you got to try to go after everything, even if you truly don't want it. It's a really up thing to do to your fan base and your consumers, right?
You're like in an abusive relationship.
No, you definitely are. And it's something that you acknowledge, but you still do it, right? So like, I hate that. It's also a constant reminder of what happened and that we'll never get this stuff again. And that sucks too. So it's just like one of those like weird, like I'm glad to have them, but I wish that it wasn't like this. It's just a really weird shoe for me. And I have a glass case over there with like my first Jordan that I ever bought myself, the Jumpman Team Pro. These will probably go in there just cause like this is like a special thing for me and stuff. So, but yeah, it's like real bittersweet. I don't know how you guys feel about it. I'm sure that a lot of people are just happy to have gotten a win. I saw so many people, all credit due to Undefeated for really sifting through things because it took a lot of time. I know that they were staggering out the winner emails and stuff because again, I didn't get it on the day of. Like there was already people that have like had purchased and gotten their stuff. So I thought that I didn't win. And then I got one like a day or two later and I was kind of like, what? Like I thought that these were gone. So it was just real interesting. I'm glad that that's the way that they did it. Cause again, I feel like all on social, like what I see a lot of people with these and they're like normal people. Like they're not like influencers that were sent stuff. They're like actual customers. Like that's who you should be giving things to.
That's a great way to keep your customers too.
But I think that these are special despite, you know, how I feel about the colorway. Even though I do like the colorway, I like the theme. My favorite Kobe 5 is the first one that I bought besides the Chaos ones. It was the Lakers purple and gold, like that launch colorway.
Are you saying that you appreciate them?
I appreciate the shoe. and all of the detail that they put into it. I'm not a fan of the gold thing. That's all. If it was the Lakers exact yellow gold, see, you don't like that, but I think that that would have been sick. Like that Lakers gold. This, if the shoe was this color with the purple gradient.
But then it's basically the
like the Bruce Lee's?
Except with purple.
Nah, they're different. But at the same time, the gold, the actual gold is for, you know, the Hall of Fame achievement.
Yes, it's a trophy.
I know, that's exactly what I'm saying. So I like everything that they did. This is not something I would wear, that's all it is.
Okay.
But thank you guys so much for everything. Thanks for all the support. Let us know if you were able to grab a pair of these down below in the comment section. Like I said, I saw so many people get a W. I'm so happy. If that was you, congratulations. If it wasn't, I apologize because I don't know if these were available outside of the States, which is also unfortunate. He's got a lot of fans around the world. So hopefully these were attainable for most people. But let me know what you think about them down below in the comment section. And until next time, guys, have a good one.